San Diego International Berg Field, ATIS information Lima, 1351 Zulu, Windcom, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, 1,300 scattered, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 10, dew point 5, altimeter 3005, arriving and departing runway 27, visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Lima. San Diego International Berg Field, ATIS information Lima, 1351 Zulu, Windcom, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, 1,300 scattered, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 10, dew point 5, altimeter 3005, arriving and parting runway 27, visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Lima. San Diego International Berg Field, ATIS information Lima, 1351 Zulu, Windcom, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, 1,300 scattered, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 10, dew point 5, altimeter 3005, arriving and parting runway 27, visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading.
Okay, well here we are. I think my mic is working now. Rather annoyingly, when I opened up OBS, it for some reason didn't save my microphone settings, but they're up online now, so I'm guessing you guys can hear me. What is this, amateur hour? Good, well, here we are. We are in San Diego at the moment, in an American Airlines A320. Can anyone in the chat please confirm that they can hear me? And that they can hear the ATC audio? I'll also get rid of that. Ooh. Bit quiet. What, the ATC audio's quiet? I mean, I've currently turned them off, but I'll bring them back on now for you.
San Diego International Berg Field, ATIS information Lima, 1351 Zulu, Windcom, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, 1,300 scattered, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 10, dew point 5, altimeter 3005, arriving and parting runway 27, visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Lima.
Okay, how about that?
San Diego International Berg Field, ATIS information Lima, 1351 Zulu, Windcom, visibility 10, few clouds at 800, 1,300 scattered, ceiling 25,000 broken, temperature 10,
I've dropped it
dew
slightly.
point 5, altimeter 3005, arriving and parting runway 27, visual, RNAV, and localizer runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Lima. San Diego
Turn
International.
it off and go to box 1 so we can hear some clearance.
Alpha 1, and request taxi to the active.
How well do you hear?
November 145 Delta Romeo, Santa Monica ground runway 21, taxi via Alpha, and can you verify that the ATIS is working?
Got ground on 123.
we have
just putting that into my box as well. Continue with this. So we did the AP, we did the external power, the cockpit lights I'm happier with. Recall, nav TCAS fault, that's normal. So we'll clear that out, that's the only one.
Runway Tower, Walker 52 short 20 left, ready for departure.
Right guys, just trying to get the audio working the way we want to, so you guys can hear me okay. Okay, I boosted myself even more now, but I really feel like the mic is too close to my face, but, you know, whatever.
Walker 540, John Wayne Tower, cross runway 20 left, runway 20 right, cleared for takeoff. Cross 20 left, 20 right, takeoff, Walker 542.
Cool, right. That's that. So, where did I get to? Alright, recall's done, oxygen pressure is fine. Pressure quantity is fine. Engine oil is fine as well.
Affirmative, still good for taxi, runway 21, taxi
Flaps
the Alpha.
are up, speed brakes
Alpha 21,
up. Accumulated brakes pressure, this should need to charge yet. Okay.
Affirmative, we're at the ready for taxi with Lima.
Onto the hydraulic screen. Turn off the PT, turn the yellow electric pump on. There it is, pressure, we've got accumulators charged as well, so we'll then go pump off. And PT back on. Okay, so that covers that. All of this stuff we can't really do, but we need to essentially check in for the emergency equipment, so things like the oxygen mask, which is down there. There's a flashlight down there.
1600 Bravo, I've got a IFR plan.
ATC may be a bit loud. Okay, I'll try turning them down a bit more. I've turned them down quite a lot now. I'm hoping that that's a good audio balance.
Seal Beach 8 departure to Seal Beach VLR and then direct. Climb via the SID, except maintain 4000.
Mic is phasing. Okay.
125.2, squawk 4512.
Okay, how does my voice sound now? Is that too loud? Too much?
Clear to land via the Seal Beach 8 departure, then Seal Beach direct. Climb via SID, except maintain 4000, 125.2, squawk 4510, November 169 Q.
Sort of half going through the checklist here and half making sure the audio's okay, so. This is the flight data recorder test, so we're just running that now. There's a tone. Set that to captain, and we'll start aligning the ADs now. Good. I think we're getting there with the audio now, so that's great. Let's start up with these are nav lights.
Maintain 4000. Departure frequency 1.
Just boost the ATC, I think that's gone a bit quiet.
Squawk 5606.
Okay, ATC has been boosted slightly. See what you guys think about that.
Okay, November 900 Golf Mike is cleared to launch.
Not going to need that.
Via the Van Nuys to LVL transition. Big Sur, direct.
Oops. Oops, sir.
Maintain 4000.
Pretty sure that's the name of an operating system. Oh, Apple. Okay, lights, those are fine. It's fine, it's fine. Okay, we've set this up. Automatic. We'll have the signs on auto.
Showing clearance, good citation
and the emergency exit lights on.
IFR clearance to Las Vegas.
Okie dokie.
November 2 and Alpha Charlie.
We have, let's get some electrics on as well.
Departure,
battery check, so the external power's on, battery is on.
Maintain 5000.
Coming back up.
Departure frequency 135, correction 128.
Yep, they're charging and they're below 60 amps, that's fine. Let's bring up the fuel panel. It's all fine, so let's go.
Nice and transition in this file. Climb via the
We actually need to load the fuel that's required, so we'll do that now. Get everything else done that we need to. So let's pop down to the tablet. We have produced a flight plan, but it's going to need changing. What I'll do is I will get the passenger screen. We're going to be taking all the passengers today. Set that up. Cargo. Again, I need to look at my scratch pads for this, so I'll just need to pop those out.
Eclipse 34 Delta Golf, ready for departure 27. November 34 Delta Golf, Berg Tower, runway 27, cleared for takeoff. 27 cleared for takeoff, Eclipse 34 Delta Golf. Walker 542, look departure. Walker 542,
But
contact.
you guys are just going through with the takeoff performance. In fact, I'll show you this now actually, because this is worth it looking at. Here you go. So you're looking at PFPX, which is just what I use to calculate, well, essentially produce the flight plan and calculate takeoff weights, takeoff distance, and takeoff settings. So, initially I thought we were going to be taking off on 09, which is towards the east, but listening to the ATIS, they've now said they're using runway 27. So here we've got runway 27. Let's calculate that. We will get a reroute, so I'll need to adjust the fuel as well, but we'll contact clearance and find out what that is in a moment. So if we just take that, go apply. That was also meant to copy. And put it in the scratch pad.
Los Angeles ground, November 169 Bravo Kilo at signature with Zulu, ready for taxi.
Good, so that's done. We'll pop that into the scratch pad here. Remove the stuff for 09.
169 Bravo ground, runway 25 left, taxi via Alpha Foxtrot.
Paste it in there for reference. Might just leave. Should be able to leave PFPX open.
5.
So that's fine.
Did you say right?
Going to need to redo the flight plan, of
runway
course,
25
because
left,
we're
taxi
going to be
via
getting a
Alpha
route that
Foxtrot.
takes us on.
25 left by Alpha Foxtrot,
that
November
might be
169 Bravo Kilo. 5 Delta Romeo, back departure. Over departure, 5 Delta Romeo.
Okay, right, yeah, that is going to be different. So we'll just have to see what ATC say about the what they say about that. But in terms of zero fuel mass, that's going to be unchanged. So we'll work on that now. It says we're expecting 57.2 tons zero fuel mass. So at the moment, this is indicating what's that? 6.7. Well, it's about 3.5 under, I think. So let's change that to 45. Check the perf again, 57.2 roughly, 57.2. Yeah, that's perfect, that'll do.
Over departure, 4 Delta Golf.
Set, so, and we can see that we're in our centre of gravity limits, we're not exceeding any maximum weights, that's our gross rate, but we need to adjust the fuel, so I will adjust the fuel, but first I want to find out exactly which routes we're going on. So what I'm going to do is call ATC now and request clearance and expect a reroute. I'm just going to turn the light on in my room, it's a bit dark in here, stand by. Okay, I can see now. Right, let me just make sure I've got these numbers in. So the altimeter was 3005. Put that on that side. It's on the right side too, even though this is a single pilot operation. Bring it down here as well for standby. And this is what I got from the ATIS. And for those of you just joining us, we're prepping the plane for a departure from San Diego on the west coast to Las Vegas. And it looks like somebody has also spawned exactly where I am, and I was here first, so I'm assuming they will move themselves. We'll see. Sometimes that happens on PilotEdge, because when you connect to the network, you'll be parked at a stand already, and then you'll connect to the network, and then there's a chance that obviously someone might be on that stand already. So I was here first, so he should eventually realise and move, but we'll see. I'm not giving up my spot anyway. So that's we're almost. I think we're pretty much at a point where we can call for clearance. We did that. We did the preliminary checks. PFPX may still be on. Let me just make sure I've got that set up correctly. There we go. All right, good. So you can see. It's kind of what I was trying to hide from you. Someone has decided to spawn, and they happen to be parking on the same spot as us, but they should move. We'll see what happens. Well, we set the altimeter on the left side, on the right side, on the standby. ATIS Lima. We're going to Las Vegas. We're in A320 on stand 9. There you go. Clearance is in. 1259 should be what's on the plate. Limbo clearance is there, and box is on transmit. Okay. Lima clearance to low, American 326, stand 9, A320 with Lima clearance to Las Vegas.
American 326, number clearance clear to Las Vegas Airport. Padres 2 departure. Chicken transition. Direct Sebi. Direct Yella. Direct Meissen. Capex 6 arrival. Climb via Sid. Departure frequency 119.6. Squawk 5131.
Cleared to Las Vegas, Padres 2 departure, chicken transition. Routing is Sebi, Yella, Meissen, Quebec 6. Climb via the SID, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 5131. American 326.
American 326, redirect.
Cool, so he did reroute us, that is different from what I filed, so I will need to jump back to PFPX and amend that. Thankfully, that same route is the one that we're doing. So I've gone through one was in the box. Departure frequency is on 119.6. So I'll just stick that on my COM2 as a reminder for later. Cool, right. So let's head over to PFPX again. And I'll try to remember to actually take it off the screen. So if we go into here, I'm assuming, let me just check you can see, yeah, so that's what you see. You should be seeing the big white screen of PFPX on it, and this is like planning software. So this particular route they gave us yesterday as well, so I'm just going to apply that there, and it was the Padres 2 chicken transition, then to Sebi, then to Yella, then Mice, and then we're doing the Capex 6 arrival into Las Vegas. Everything else is more or less unchanged. It does increase the route distance, but there's clearly a reason why they want us to do that. So let's compute that now. And it's come up with a warning. Yeah, it's just because it's a great distance, but that's fine. We should be bringing, in terms of fuel, it's saying 5.9, so that's okay. Performances for runway 27, I'm just going to save that now. So press yes to replace, and we're not worried about the warning. Let's just check that OFP, check it makes sense. We did file flight level 310, so we need to make sure that we actually do 310. I'll correct that when I export the flight plan. And then we can go...
November 16,
oh yes, so the release fuel 5.9. Not expecting any delays, so let's put that in there. So 5.9 is the fuel. We'll round it up to 6. So fuel, like so. That's been set. Packs are set. Cargo we should have already set. And yeah, that's the loading done. We'll take away the cargo. We'll leave the doors open until we get the APU started, but we can also remove the fuel truck, so that's all good too. Right then. And let me... you can't see any of that because once again I forgot to. There you go. You can see now. Good. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, the route has been amended as per yesterday's route, so I've now disconnected the fuel truck. We'll leave the passengers minus the two rear doors, and the cargoes have been disconnected. Good. Just going to export that route from PFPX. You don't need to see this part. This is just so I can see the flight plan on my side. So we'll save it there, put it on the desktop.
Shell anchorance, citation 1 Alpha Tango, information Papa, ready for taxi out of Atlantic.
Okay, that's a reason.
We're 2 Alpha Tango, going runway 20 right, taxi via Alpha.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just bringing up the flight plan on my
20 right, Alpha Lima, hold short of 20 left, 2
that's what I'm doing. Okay, yep, that's all fine, but we're on flight level 310.
Contact Sierra November 169.
This is one of the things I've found with flying on PilotEdge. You need to make sure that what you file is what you do, and if there are any changes, you need to adjust them as appropriate. Okay, cool. So we were given a Padres departure as well, so that will be over here. Padres 2. Again, same one I flew yesterday, so it's not really a huge surprise to me. And we were given the chicken transition. So right there. So we don't need to fly out all the way here, and we wouldn't do that anyway because it's completely off our route. Chicken is about as far as we want to go. And these are all just fictional waypoints, 5-letter waypoints. So, what does it say? Well, from runway 27, and we're going from San Diego. Runway 27, climb runway heading to 275, then we'll be at 520 feet and need to turn right direct to Winfield. So pretty much just a straight and then a slight right. And then you just follow the track to Padres and then Chicken, really. Anything else that's worth knowing? We already have, but the departure frequency they gave us is on there. We got a transition altitude, and it just tells you what equipment you need on your plane to fly this departure. It's an INAV departure, and we've got GPS, we've got IRUs, we've got pretty much everything, so we're good to go. The chart also tells us there's the local terrain and high elevations to watch out for. They didn't give us another climb level, so we can assume that we just fly the SID. He did say climb via the SID, so 15,000 we will put up here on the altitude, like that. And that's now good to go. 15,000 is blue. So now let's jump into the FMS and start loading that route. The magic box. So we're in date, we're in A320, they've got the right engines. To the init page, we have in here K San Diego. Just check you've got the right screen up. Yep, you can see it good. K San Diego to K Las Vegas. And these are just the codes for those airports. We don't have a company route, so that's fine. Alternate routes. The alternate is KIFB. I'd have to double check exactly which one. But it's an airport that's about 90 miles away or so, I think less than that from Las Vegas if we need to use it. Flight number then is American 326. Cost index, we'll use 10. We want to cruise at Mach 178, so whatever we get. We're cruising at flight level 310. And we'll just use ISO, assuming yes, I'll just double check the flight plan, but I believe it's pretty much ISO conditions. Good. Yeah. And when I say ISO conditions, I don't mean ice, I mean ISO is something called International Standard Atmosphere, and it's sort of a datum. If the temperature is different, then we'll have to amend this temperature here. But because it's the same, or more or less the same, I'm just going to leave it as is. And if it was different, then it would change the way the aircraft performs at higher level. So we need to tell the aircraft where we are. What if we refer to the plates? Might not be on this one actually. It should be on the ground. This one here. There you go. 3244. Yeah, that makes sense. And we can align on the reference. And we've now told the plane where we are. We can bring some wind data in.
With you on the localizer 27.
And everything else on that screen looks good. So flight plan then.
Scene 12, Limburg Tower, runway 27.
So we were given from runway 27,
clear to land.
Padres 2 departure. And we're not using those transitions. We're looking for the Chicken transition. There we go. So Padres 2 to Chicken, temporary insert. We'll put the whole route in and then we'll just check the flight plan now. We've got a flight plan view, we can see what's happening, so let's bring the box up. We compare with what's on the plate to what's on the screen to make sure that there's no errors.
Transponder code put in and contact SoCal departure.
So what are we doing? We're taking off, we're going direct to this Winfield. 500 feet is also in there, that's indicated by this.
November 538, sorry, I thought you were on the other side of the runway. Runway 29er, taxi via Echo Alpha, cross runway 29er.
Wind, where we need to be above flight level 80, according to the plate. Yep, it's there. Just 8,000 because it's, transition is 8,000 here in the US. Padres, Huffman, Chicken, and Chicken was the transition, and this is where we need to now switch to the rest of the flight plan. So we were then told to go direct Sebi. So let's what I'll do is I'll bring up my flight plan from the text screen so I can see it. Yeah, so Padres 2 Chicken direct Sebi, that's S Sierra Echo Bravo Yankee. After that we have direct Yella, which is Yankee Echo Lima Alpha Hotel. Just temporarily insert this. Normally we check this with the other crew member, but we are one-man crew. And then we're going direct to a point called MISC, which I believe is a transition point into Las Vegas, so we'll have to check this.
November
Just check that I've got the right one. MISC is 3506, so that's the top one. Temporary insert. Now, based on the expected weather conditions, we're anticipating runway 19 right at Vegas, so
startup. Are you ready to copy your
let's see what options we have. It's the RNAV.
instructions?
What's that? But the winds, so we could take 119, we could also, well, let's just have a look at the weather. So at Las Vegas, the winds are fairly benign, so frankly, we might just assume we'll get 26. I think that's reasonable. 26 left, 26 right.
26 left has an ILS, so make left downwind departure, runway 29
he gave us the Capex 6 arrival, so there it is. And
November 17 airport, your
fires,
destination airport.
put that as pre-no initially. And it was MISC in transition, so if we temporary insert,
November 172,
that's actually not quite correct. Let's go to arrival, next page, transition MISC.
November 172, roger, out of Las Vegas, Bravo airspace.
So it's quite a short flight,
On
so what
departure.
I'm going to do
Flight heading
is
175.
check this in advance that we have the
Radar
correct
vectors,
routing, because
correction,
normally
flight
you take off and then
maintain
you
VFR at or below
have time to check the
5,000.
routing, but because it's such a short
Departure
flight, I'm going to
frequency
do this now.
118.4.
So
Squawk 2.
the ATC is a bit loud, I can turn it down. There's a lot of other people on frequency, so. Okay, so we have we want arrival, sorry.
Heading 175.
6. And our transition is MISC, will be at flight level 240.
below 5,000.
MISC goes to Claire,
The
Together
departure
Quebec,
frequency maintain VFR, or correction, departure frequency 118.4.
Nippon,
Squawk 2677.
Nipso Sunset, and then Kimmy, Chips, also speeds and notes at some altitudes at present, poker, and then we'll make a turn to Prino. There we transition to an ILS plate. I'll look at the ILS plate later, so we'll have time to sort that out, but it's just the initial star I wanted to look at. Okay, so with that done, I'll copy
November
out.
170 back, correct. And due to your
I'll set up a rough engine out SID for a return to
deviation,
San Diego. This is in the event of an engine failure.
training
We can
program.
quickly tell the
You
aircraft
can
to go
access that
back.
from the pilot center link on the PilotEdge
I'll
homepage.
grab the
And let me know
localizer
if you have any
approach.
questions about that.
No fires.
November 1.
Radnav I'm happy with. We'll take the
Radio check.
the
Fly
in
back.
page 2. Request some weight figures.
Towers, 2 Alpha Tango,
Check
holding
it
short,
on the
20 left.
Earth data
Waymo
page, it
takeoff.
matches up, so we've got the zero fuel weight 23.8 centre of gravity and 57.2 on the zero fuel weight. So zero fuel weight, centre of gravity and zero fuel weight is correct. This is just computing our fuel requirements, and it will tell us how much, there you go, tell us how much extra time we have. If you were to look at your alternate plus final reserve from the flight plan, let me just do that now. It should give us
right, clear for takeoff, 2-1 Alpha Tango.
good calculations. So 1.7
Tower heading 12,
roughly
27 at Bravo 8, ready
2.6,
to
yes,
taxi
final,
back to the gate.
2.6 final plus
1312
extra.
tag parking via Bravo, monitor back.
Yeah, we'll take a 5%
Taxi to parking
contingency,
via
and it's telling
Bravo,
us
monitor
we're going to
ground,
burn about 2.7 tons
1312.
of fuel, and it'll be just over an hour's flight time to Las Vegas. And that's the init page 2. Fine, we'll go up to the progress page now, cruising at flight level 310, which is what I filed. And then we'll have the San Diego, runway 27, just as an initial reference point, and you can see that it's correct. Performance page now. So this is based off the figures which I just got from PFPX, the flight planning software. So it gives us a few options here, and the most efficient one would only give us about 100 meters margin. If we had obstacles, I'd be a little bit concerned to perhaps take a slightly bigger margin, but because we're taking off over the sea on runway 27, I'll just show you that here. Flip it around so you can see it. Not that way. Yeah, 27 we take off, and then we're very quickly heading out over the sea. So I'm happy to sort of take a much more reduced thrust takeoff. So that's data for that then. So the speeds, we've got 147, 147 and 148. The transition altitude is always 18,000 in America, and we will take 1,000 foot thrust reduction. And acceleration. Flaps, according to the plan, it wants flaps 1, that's standard. And the flex temperature is going to be 67. If we have an engine failure, we'll also use 1,000 feet to accelerate on one engine. Flex temperature, what does that mean? Well, it just essentially, if the temperature is hotter, it treats the engine as if it was, well, in other words, if an engine is hotter, it won't produce as much thrust. And what we're telling the aircraft is we're saying the temperature is 67 degrees. I mean, it clearly isn't. It's about 12 degrees right now, but by saying the temperature is hotter, we're telling the engine to use lower thrust, and that preserves engine life, reduces maintenance costs, etc. Obviously this is a sim, but it's quite a common thing to do anyway, even in simulators.
We're 2 and Alpha Tango departure.
Here we go, so performance data's in.
Departure, 2
There's
and Alpha.
nothing really to input here because we can go straight to 250 knots on departure. So that's great. FMS is now done. And we can also just take the second box and put that onto the we'll also pop up to, actually we don't need this, we can just use our ATIS. So a short brief then. The weather is pretty good. We've got some low cloud, you can see out the window, but it's not going to be a threat to us. The temperature is fine. Aircraft, it's an A320, nothing much to say about it. We don't have a functioning TCAS system. Again, this is just an issue, a slight bug with the aircraft, but something that will be resolved at some point. Thankfully we have solid controllers here, should be able to help us out. No TAM's not applicable because it's a simulator, but the threats, not a great deal on departure. It's a fairly short taxi out, so we'll start 2 engines.
November 145, you had a stuck mic, so I couldn't respond to you. Runway 30, clear to land.
Not much to say other than that. We're cleared up to 15,000. The biggest threats, I suppose, are once we get, is the fact that it's just a short flight. Not much on route time, so we've mitigated some of it by planning our arrival and checking that this plate is correct. Again, most of the things to say are really down the other end. There's quite a lot to talk about at the other end, but not a lot to say here. So, yeah, we talked about the routing, what we're going to do. It's all in the box. I'm happy with that. Let's proceed then with the APU, and we can get on our way.
Burbank, Skylane, November 5480 Whiskey, requesting flight following to Fullerton, cruising
Also grab 2 VOR
3,500.
on that side in case something comes
Information
up.
Foxtrot for the Cat 9 rating.
Just for a bit of situational awareness. I don't know if I said it already, but if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing, or was curious about any aspect, please ask. I'll point out that this is an Airbus A320, once again, that we're parked at San Diego, and very shortly we'll be getting moving to Las Vegas, Party Central. There you go, we've got some more traffic coming online now, and that guy who parked in our stand did eventually move off, so that was much
November
appreciated.
548 Whiskey. Burbank clearance on departure.
Got clearance on the box one. I'm going to switch over to ground.
VFR out of low 2,500 until advised. Departure frequency
If I can find the right plate.
134.2. Squawk
Okay, it's over here.
2170.
I just have to flip it around. So clearance is 1259. I'm going to put ground now on the box 1 and tower
on course
on
southeast,
the standby.
2,500, 134.2, squawk 2170.
One of the key things I've found on PilotEdge versus something like the VATSIM network is that we don't actually need to call for clearance to push off stand if you're on a ramp, because ground control doesn't control the ramp area, it's controlled by ramp, but they're not simulated on PilotEdge, which is fine. This is just the way they do things in the United States. If you're on VATSIM, you'd have to
November
push the start, but it's just not necessary.
Santa Monica Airport.
Anyway, the
departure, turn right,
APU
heading
should be,
20.
well, it's available now,
Radar
so
vectors,
we'll
Steel Beach VOR,
turn on the
and
APU
then
for lead, we'll
as
start a
filed.
timer to let it clear itself out, we'll
Maintain
disconnect
2,000,
the
expect
external power,
6,000 in 10 minutes.
and we shall
Departure
start to close
frequency
off some
128.1.
passengers. Sorry, the doors, the fuel's disconnected. We can take that off. We can also remove that. The parking brake is on. So that's all set.
Heading right to 220.
Phil Hansen, what does the side stick do? Well, here's our side stick. I'm using an external side stick, but it's linked to the one in the Airbus, and that's how we control it. Rather than have a yoke that's on a Boeing, we have the side stick, and rather than directly control the flight or the flight control surfaces on an Airbus, it sends electrical signals to them, and this controls the hydraulic system. So we don't actually mechanically control the flight controls surfaces, we do it using electrics, and it has its advantages. So, I'm about to get going, but because I had a rather delicious cup of coffee,
that was Southwestern 12.
I just need the toilet, but I'll be right back.
Southwestern 12. Service 1312 to the Las Vegas airport, Padres to departure, chicken transition, and then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 2, correction. Squawk code 3057. Understood to the Las Vegas airport via the Padres 2 with the chicken transition, that's why climb via SID 119.6 is the departure frequency 3057 at box Southwest 1312. That was 1312 reback.
November 145 Delta Ram here, Delta 3.
We're 145 Delta Romance to parking via Delta Foxtrot this frequency.
Delta Foxtrot this frequency, thanks. John Wayne ground, 210 Alfa Romeo, east ramp with Papa ready to taxi.
November 210 Alpha Romeo, John Wayne ground, runway 20 left, taxi via Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo.
20 left, Alpha Hotel Charlie Kilo, 210 Alfa Romeo.
Burbank ground, number 5480 Whiskey's at Millionaire, FBO ready to taxi with information Foxtrot.
Cool, right, I'm back. ACC seems a bit loud, so I hope that's not. I've turned it down just a touch for you, but you should still be able to hear what they're doing. There you go. If you're just joining the stream, we're about to push off stand from San Diego and we're heading to Las Vegas. So, APU is on, everything's disconnected, we can start to think about pushbacks, so let's pre-plan it. Oh look, it's done it for us, how nice. So that's probably just saved it from another flight I did, so that's acknowledged. What we shall do now is do some checks. So we'll bring up the screens that we need, that one, and here we go. So, before start checklist. Cockpit prep is completed. Signs are on auto. The ADRS is on there. The fuel quantity is, we got just under 6 tons, and we can see that this is balanced, so they're all good. FMGS is set. We've got flight plan on the right, performance on the left, and the altimeters are indicating 3005 and 0 feet, which is the elevation of the airport, 17 feet. So that's completed to the line. Okay then. Normally at this point we call for a push and start, but we don't need to do that on that PilotEdge. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just look behind us, check that no one's in our way, and if Southwest pushback, he shouldn't be an issue for us. So, call for pushback now.
Grounded cockpit, tower shutting
Good morning,
and start to flow. So clear to start, beacon on, we'll turn on the transponder so ATC can see us, altitude reporting is on. We'll leave the TCAS off for the moment, although it's technically not working. Lovely.
November 2323, reactor shield ground, sorry, were you looking for flight following?
Yeah, please, 1,500.
It's just nice being able to do a stream where everyone can see what I'm doing.
Roger, departure frequency 118.8, squawk 5011.
118.8 and squawk 5011, Bonanza 23 Echo.
23 Echo, runway to right, taxi via Alpha Bravo.
30 right, taxi Alpha Bravo, Bonanza 23 Echo.
Okay, all doors and
Can you
hatches
explain
are
why US
closed.
altimeters work
Ready
in a
to
different number
connect.
system to Europe? I don't know, because they're awkward. No, there must be another. There's a better reason for that. It's just another unit of measurement for determining atmospheric pressure. In the US, they use inches of mercury. In the other places in the world that I've flown, hectopascals or millibars, it's an interchangeable unit. So, yeah, I couldn't give you the exact reason for it. I've never actually flown for real in a place where inches of mercury is used as the altimeter reference.
Departure, fly heading 260. Radar vector
And
is
even
Emlyn,
in ground school, I
and
don't remember it even being explained to me why they do it
6000,
differently, other
expect
than
11,000
being
in
awkward.
0 minutes.
Oh, that's
Door
better.
connected and bypass 10 inserted. Release
26.1.
parking brake.
Squawk
Okay. After
7347.
push, we can release the brakes. And we'll start the timer.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
And we may start engines. So, APUs there will go for ignition mode selected to start. Blue pressure's in, engine 1 and master is on. If there is anyone in the chat who has a more detailed explanation as to why they use it differently, please do so. But frankly, I don't. I think it's just a preference thing. It's like if you go to China, they have the altitude in meters, which I can't wrap my head around. So, but there you go.
Tower, U2466 Kilo checking in at 2,500.
3466 Palomar Tower, Roger. Make sure you've got your transponder on in mode C while you're inside the mode C though. Enter left base runway 24, clear to land.
Thanks for transponder help. It should be on in the right mode. Repeat landing instructions, 3466 Kilo.
466 Kilo left base runway 24, clear to land.
Left base, runway 24, clear to land, 3466 Kilo.
It's a Southwest 737, he's probably going to be pushing back shortly, he might be waiting for me. Okay, we have
Operation complete. Go ahead
one
and set the
engine,
parking brake.
the aircraft is stopped, the ground speed is 0, the park brake is on, we'll start engine 2.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Master on.
553 Yankee, you're with Santa Maria Tower. You keep saying Santa Monica. Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, clear to land.
Santa Maria Tower, runway 30, clear to land, 253 Yankee.
Have that on the perf data screen as well, so we can set the
November 5480
trims in a moment.
short runway 15 ready for
gauge
takeoff.
frame rate, 30 FPS, okay.
November 548, Whiskey Brooklyn Crown. Is
it's
that where the
disconnected.
runway ends on your scenery, or can you continue going down Bravo?
I can continue.
Fire your
down
questions
to
in the
the
chat
next
if you
one
have any.
you want me
I
to.
am paying attention.
Well, that's what your instructor were to taxi to the end of the runway via Bravo.
In terms of weather, I am using xEnviro to generate the weather.
Correction to the end of the road.
Tow is
very
disconnected
pleased
and
with
bypass 10 has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next
Signals
time.
on the
and
right.
have a safe flight.
Tower, 210 Alpha Romeo at 20 left at Kilo,
Both
ready
engines
to
on.
take off.
Flight director's available. Engine is available, so we'll take the ignition master to off. The spoilers can come up, the flaps can go to 1. The rudder trim can be set to 0 and reset. The centre of gravity for the trim is 23.9.
So this 1312 on the Bravo approved, expect runway 20
about
right.
there.
Correction, expect runway 27.
And that's set, so we'll move up the screen, we'll take the APU bleed off, we'll take the APU off, and we don't
November
range
1525
anti-ice,
Yankee,
and
John
we're
clearance.
almost ready for taxi, and oh, it looks like someone's already popped into our stand. So, hand signal was on the right, I think. Yeah, he's already driven off. They would have waited for us to actually wave them off, but it doesn't matter. It's a simulator, what can I do? Okay, we'll do some after start checks as well. So after start anti-ice is off, the ECAM status is checked, it's all normal, the pitch trim 23.9 is set, and the rudder trim is 0, the after start check is complete. I put the taxi lights on already, in fact I should use my panel for this because that's what it's for, taxi lights on. And we can request taxi now finally. So here we are, just short of Bravo. We're on ground is on box 1, so pretty much just Bravo. Clear left, clear right, release the park and brake. Off we go.
Burbank Tower, remember 5480 Whiskey, holding short runway 15 ready for takeoff.
November
Need to call for
232
taxi
Echo,
once the
Bakersfield
shorts
Tower,
of
runway 30
Bravo.
right, cleared for takeoff, proceed on course.
30 right, clear for takeoff, Bonanza 2323 Echo.
548 Whiskey, Burbank Tower, runway 15, cleared for takeoff.
Frequency's a little busy.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15, 80 Whiskey.
Riverside Tower, November 1234 is 10 miles south of the airport, Cessna 208, request to stop landing. With information, Mike.
Pretty busy
November
frequency, guys.
124 Riverside Tower, enter left base, runway 27, report 2 miles south. Entering left base,
Full up.
7, reporting 2
Full
miles,
down.
final, November 1224.
Full left. Full right. And we'll just check in. Oh, too late.
We're 2553 Yankee, clear runway.
Full left. Full right. Neutral flight controls checked. American Limbo ground, American 326, request taxi.
November 53 Yankee, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha 2553.
American 326, ground, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
Runway 27, taxi via Bravo, American 326. There you go. So we're taxiing via Bravo. Well, no surprises there. Let's go forward attendant panel. Let's arm the there. We'll clear on the left, and there's nothing on the right.
548 Whiskey, radar contact SoCal
Set
departure.
there. Checked off flight controls.
Contact departure, 80 Whiskey.
Once the brake can be armed to max, and we'll do the takeoff config test. now.
November 2323, contact Bakersfield departure. Order departure, G23 Echo.
Los Angeles delivery Cessna 308 Papa Lima 172/Golf. Request southeast departure 5,500.
Brakes we tested because we were able to stop the shoal short, so that's all tested and good.
I have information, Victor.
November 308 Lima, Los Angeles clearance, cleared out of
Okay,
LA Bravo
performance, so we're
airspace.
using full length
On
runway
departure, turn left
27.
heading 250.
That will be hold short of Bravo
Correction
1.
on departure, fly heading 250, make left, cross
Engineer
on
and SID are
departure
basically
at the
just going to fly
shoreline,
the
back
SID,
to Bravo airspace.
get over the sea,
Maintain VFR
fix the
handle
issue,
below
and then make a return to runway
2,500.
27, lock,
Departure
localizer
frequency
approach.
1-2,
Departure other rises Padres 2 Zulu.
134.9er.
Happy with the taxi route, so let's bring that up
2443.
now. So just Padres 2, not Padres 2 Zulu. We're going to glide takeoff, make a slight right at 500 feet direct to Wenfield. Stopping at altitude 15,000, that's what I've got there, and that's what I've got on the top altitude. And it says climb via the SID on my scratch pad, so that's all good. No questions. Let's take the before takeoff checks.
With 308 Papa Lima, reback, correct?
So flight controls, I've checked the briefing is confirmed. Flap setting, we've got a config 1 setting. For main takeoff data, 147 blue, 148 magenta, climb nav blue, 1 FD2, 1 5000 is blue, and the flexing is 67. Transponder is set. ECAM memo is a takeoff at no
John Wayne
blue.
Tower, number 169 Bravo Kilo, on
Is not applicable, that's still a line.
ILS for 20 right. 169 Bravo Kilo, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land.
20 right, clear to land, November 169 Bravo Kilo. Burbank ground, TBM 900 Golf. Mike, ready at Millionaire Taxi IFR to Monterey, and we have Foxtrot.
So I hope everyone's strapped in and comfortable. Sure to be on our way on this very short hop to Las Vegas.
900 Golf Mike, Burbank ground, runway 15, taxi via Bravo.
15 via Bravo, 900 Golf Mike.
What we'll do is normally we get takeoff clearance and then the 2 crew would set the plane up for takeoff on below the line, but because it's just 1 crew, I'll
November 123
start doing
runway
that now,
27, clear to land.
because there's no traffic here and I can't see anyone coming in.
November 124.
So, weather radar's coming on. Ta-ra. APU's off, engine anti-ice is not required. We'll take the packs off for departure. Ready for the check. So below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector is normal.
Okay, so now I had 2 at the same
TCAS is
time.
ta-ra, although it's not functional. Packs are off, anti-ice is off before takeoff. Check this is correct.
Millionaire with information, whiskey ready to taxi.
November November Papa Air runway 21, taxi via Charlie Alpha.
Runway 21 to Charlie and Alpha, Delta November Papa Romeo. Ground, hello.
It's a busy frequency today.
1720 Papa.
November 1720 Papa, ground.
This is now 172 Papa. On main transit parking information, Zulu request clearance VFR departure west.
November 172 Bravo, okay, you don't need a clearance for VFR.
Across the whole short line until we get that clearance.
Ready, sir?
Which is your proper runway 26 right, taxi via Golf Delta.
Via Golf Delta towards short of 26 right, November 172 Papa.
American 326 Bravo 1 ready for departure.
American 326 for ground, runway 27 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27 cleared for takeoff, American 326. Do you want us on tower as well?
American 326, yeah, when you get to the end of the runway you should switch over on your own. You can just, you can switch frequencies I guess if you'd like.
Okay, we'll switch frequencies and runway 27 cleared for takeoff, American 326.
Approaching 27.
Okay, frequency's set, we'll go for the strobes as well. Just check that is actually the right one.
27. Southwest 1312 Liver ground, runway 27.
Tower is on 118.3. Departure is ready there as well, so we're lining up on runway 27.
November 124 vacated at Golf, request taxi to parking straight ahead.
On runway 27.
Okay guys, here we go. Doing on the roll. Timer's running. Set thrust to 50%, check it's balanced. Thrust is stable. Manflex, SRS runway. 1.5 a stick down.
November 30 Bravo Lima LA ground, runway 25 left, taxi via Alpha Foxtrot.
100 knots. B1, rotate. Positive climb, we'll go for the gear. That's nav. Just waiting for that slight right turn. Here it is. And we'll take the autopilot. AP1. Rush, climb, climb. Packs in. And the other.
American 326, contact departure.
Contact departure, American 326. Flaps 0. Speed checked is flaps 0. And we'll call departure now, 119.6. Departure low, American 326 is climbing to 15,000 pad receipt.
American 326, so departure radar contact.
He's going to ask us. Okay, you didn't. Forgot to also mention that we're at 3,500, but yes, we're passing 3.5.
Level 1 Alpha Tango, descend to main level 240.
Okay, at this point we'll release the crew. It's pretty smooth. I'm liking, well,
Level 1
doesn't
Alpha
really
Tango,
matter.
contact center 134.65.
We'll disarm the ground spoilers. Happy with the landing lights coming off, so we'll take those off and the taxis off as well. Strobes, there's interference with my panel there, so that's okay. Triple check the packs are online. Yep, the packs are there, so we've got cabin pressure coming in as well. What kind of Boeing is this? Are you mad?
Vehicle field approach, Walker 420.
Oh, hello, bit of wind there. Hands on the stick.
Information Quebec.
Bit of shear.
To request ILS.
That's fine.
30 right from JPEX.
Don't worry, Dav. I will be flying the Boeing as well at some point.
Aircraft calling time again. Walker 426.
I have the Sky God. It's a Boeing. Of course, it's the Boeing A380.
ILS 30 right from JPEX, please.
Who Sky God is? That's a name I used to use. I had a nickname Sky God once. I wonder who that is. Must be someone from training. Identify yourself. Alright, 10,000 feet, so we'll go for... I'll leave the constraints on actually because I think there's a couple more en route.
Okay, yeah, I guess what I meant, through shafter, okay, misread that. Thank you,
We'll
walk
go for the airport then. Let's go cost index 0 for the climb. It's a very short climb. We'll take airports on that side, seat belts, yeah, smooth.
What's your best speed?
Radnav is fine, the optimum level.
That's all for descending
Let's pay attention to the ATC. We've got Las Vegas on that side. I'm expecting 26 left. Cruising at flight level 310. Secondary, copy active now. Need status.
326, contact center, 128.6 for higher.
128.65 center, American 326.
23 Echo contact approach 124.55. Over to Joshua, approach 455, Banana 23 Echo.
Center hello, American 326, climbing to 15,000, Padres 2.
326, LA center, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230, American 326.
Joshua, approach, good morning, 23 Echo, flying 9,500.
Set standard. Standard is...
Number 2323, Joshua, approach.
Cross flex, flight level 230 is blue. And we would normally do an altimeter check, but that's 145, 145, bang. Surprise, surprise, it's the same. It's a simulator. Can we agree Cessna 152 would be best for this journey, though? Yeah, probably. I mean, look at it. We're only doing... Well, it's 333 miles. It's not that bad. And you could also get some really nice views as you head over the terrain.
Remain outside of the Forward and Delta airspace and sneak up report when you have the airport.
Waste of fuel. Well, you say that, but then you can also get flights from, say, Gatwick to Jersey.
Sorry, you say you have
so.
It? Yes, I have the airport side.
Go on 1C1.5 and say meow, please. Do you know what? I would, but the thing is, I think I'd be in more trouble doing that on PilotEdge than I would in the real world. So. Cessna DA42, of course. Of course. I've actually got the Diamond DA62, which I'm probably going to fly a lot more of. So don't worry, Sky God. 124.62 American 326.
124.62.
Say again, American 326.
326, LA 24.62.
124.62 American 326. That's what I said, wasn't it? That's what I was putting in the box. Sensor hello, American 326, climbing flight level 230.
326, Plaza Center under, climb and maintain flight level 310, when able direct SEBI.
Climb and maintain flight level 310, when able direct SEBI, American 326. 310 is blue. No, it's back. Okay, so... When able direct SEBI, so what he means by that is when you've got the height. So let's bring that up. And that's not a problem, so let's go direct SEBI, shall we? Oh, right, did I miss it? SEBI, there we go, I was right. Go away. fine.
That was 1312 for departure air contact.
This is where this thing doesn't really work for me. Alright, let's get ourselves turned towards Sebi and then temperature insert. And then we'll go for manage nav. That's funky. Right, nav direct Sebi. Flight level 310 is blue. Happy with the terrain. Well, there isn't any. Interesting call.
Epic Bravo Mike, DB pad level 29F.
To be fair, you're the only Sky got J-Dog. I know, right? Oh, you've definitely got a B from training. Got to be.
Bay 15910 Golf Mike.
Disappeared from box 1.
430 Papa Lima for departure, roger, cancel altitude restrictions, resume on navigation to maintain VFR, remain outside of Torrance Delta airspace.
Crack up to Mach 0.35. I mean down? Yeah, Sky God, should check out the Concorde stream.
Roy Bravo Mike, contact center 125.27.
Your desire to stay at such slow Mach numbers insults me.
5.27 Epic 8 Bravo Mike.
Low 1 Alpha Tango to maintain 14,000.
Right, I'm a bit early on this, but it's such a short flight that I'm going to crack on with it anyway. Let's start getting some weather.
25.24 Delta Golf.
Dual engine failure, go. Good one.
Saitek morning, Epic 838 Bravo Mike.
Alright, anyway, what's it doing? Speed day. Car says KIFP and KLAS is coming up, so.
Walker 426, clear direct shafter, VOR cross shafter at above 5,000, then clear the ILS runway 30 right approach. Report established on the localizer following the
sound
procedure turn.
426, it's a very similar call sign there. Well, the briefing says, so let's fire that in. Yeah, what's the weather doing? No winds. You can see a lot. The clouds are high. Yeah, we're getting 2.6 left. It's got to be.
Level 1312, contact light center 128.6.
Okay.
Or don't. November 21 Alpha, contact Las Vegas approach 125.9.
Four times.
25.9er for Bengals, yeah.
Controller's having a great time.
Ray Papa Lima, contact Silverage 128.1.
I'm sure I'll mess something up on PilotEdge.
Go back in November Papa Romeo, via traffic 2 o'clock, 3 miles eastbound, altitude indicates 5,500, type unknown
I
altitude.
did actually have a little hiccup on the radio for the when using the on-screen.
2323, active traffic observed between you and Mojave Airport. Radar services are terminated. Squawk and maintain VFR. Frequency change approved.
American 326. My radio temporarily lost the frequency. Can I just confirm I'm still meant to be with you?
So I got multiple aircraft calling me now. 4 Delta Golf, Las Vegas approach 125.9er, please.
125.9er, 4 Delta Golf, thank you.
Runner 00 Golf, Mike, so far, radar contact. Verify altitude instruction.
Might as well practice for when the industry picks up, says Dan. Those Boeing A320 have been sitting for a while, yeah, and the people who fly them have been sitting just as long. So much so that they're now called Boeing A320. Yeah.
November 21 Alpha, Las Vegas first, extra Victor, turn right, heading 050 vectors, first approach,
Anyway, I'm getting distracted.
Descend and
QNH at Las Vegas is this. xEnviro. Winds. It literally says nothing.
34 Delta Golf, Las Vegas first, thanks, expect visual approach.
Genuinely expecting we'll get 2.6 left. For the ILS approach and 2.6 left, so let's bring that up, shall we?
Runner 00 Mike, climb and maintain 5,000.
No, that's San Diego. Okay.
30 Papa Lima, Tower Bridge, Roger John Wayne, altimeter 3006.
This is what we want. Approach, we want ILS.
Level 1312, you're with me?
26 left.
So why are you level at 8,000?
I don't know if you guys can hear what's going on with ATC.
Alright, we got to get you to learn how to read those charts. The line underneath means above, not at. So you just need to continue your climb to your top altitude at this point. Climb and maintain 15,000. Contact LA Center,
Boeing
128.6.
A320 Maxes keep crashing. No, mate. Well, we'll see. 100 to go. I think you'll find you should be on a QNH, not standard.
With 2-0 off Romeo 6, Hotel Bridge 135.4.
Oh, no.
Visual Golf Mike, turn right heading 50. Go back on a double pop.
Mac house
turn
start.
left heading 090, vector down 1.
Let's try cost index 10. We're looking for a Mach 0.78, so we'll see what that does. It's a pretty big change there. So.
Vectors to your first X, sir. 736 feet to your contact LA Central 133.2.
33.2, 736.42.
Southwest info, we will be climbing out of 10,000 up to 15,000.
Thanos plane. Shit.
Southwest 13 at 12,
Right.
LA Center, climb and maintain, flight level 230. Up to 23,
I mean,
Southwest info. With 210 off Romeo,
Sky God, I'd hate to take away your Sky God privileges, but unfortunately it is transition altitude at 18,000, and the transition level is flight level 180. Do an overspeed. No, man.
Visual off Romeo, perfect. Visual Golf Mike, proceed direct slap to join the departure. Climb and maintain 13,000, please.
I mean, I shared this link out to a few people, so, well, Facebook and Instagram, so I have no idea who you really are.
Expect flight level 220.
You might hate me. You might
I
not.
got you.
Who am I to judge?
I think I've got you going the right way. Number 0, I'm going to tell you what, turn left heading 320 vectors on the outbound
Right.
transition.
How long we got? We'll check the flight plan in a moment, but we are expecting 26 left ILS. Probably the active did all that.
40, 2 flight level 360.
3642 LA, Roger, thanks to send you the Johnny 511.
Loads of fuel.
360.
Stand by the Johnny 5 will report leaving flight level 360, something in air 3642.
Number 0, Golf Mike, you're able to proceed direct cast.
Do a flip.
To join the
Do you know what? I'm not actually capable of doing a flip unless I turn the flight augmentation computers. So that one, I have to turn 2 of them off, otherwise it won't let me go beyond about 67 degrees.
Then 15048, Bravo Mike.
Thanos plane. Do a flip. No, not that wasn't. That was Sky God. Thanos. What's the longest flight you've done? This is kind of embarrassing, but I have done I think it was like 11 hours, and we went from Amsterdam Schiphol to Atlanta, and that was a video. That was like 4 years ago. It's on my channel. It's an older video, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Not that I still do. No, we know what we're doing, sort of. The longest one I've done on stream so far is actually, I believe it's Concorde, which kind of sounds a bit interesting. We took that from Heathrow to JFK, and very shortly I'll be doing the route back as well, and I'll be streaming that. So. Well, that is.
Brazil off my contact base center 125.27.
Do you fly for Ryanair? Why do you ask that? What makes you think that?
Southwest 13, contact LA Center 133.2. 133.2, Southwest 13 Golf. Southwest 13 call with you climbing out of 18,000 just out of the 2
Made a major error, guys.
Southwest 1312 LA Center.
Forgot to set the weather radar to 0 degree tilt. Burn me.
Up to 220, that's 13 Golf.
Alright, how far the top of the 77 miles, 5 minutes to 6, just
climbing 9,200 for 13,000. One out saying of the airport off to your left now, 9 o'clock, 2 miles, 7 say. One out saying of thanks for the visual approach, runway 9 right. Number 900 Golf Mike Center, climb maintain flight level 220. Climb maintain level 220, 900 Golf
My
Mike.
biggest darkest secret is given away by a No, I can't really say who I work for, but I can say that I'm a type-rated A320 pilot. But I feel like a lot of you guys may. We just joined the streamer going from
326, East NVIDIA to KX6, arrival report leaving flight level 310.
Descend by the KEPX-6 arrival, report leaving flight level 310, American 326. Cool, there you go, KEPX-6 arrival. We've already checked that we're what the KEPX-6 is. We're happy with all the reading. We're reading via MISC. The first one is flight level 240. I'm just going to check that's in the box. I didn't actually see it early. Yeah, it's not. So, altitude constraint, flight level 2.
If you need problem, Mike, cancel IFR, request flight following.
Bravo Mike, IFR cancel receive, maintain VFR.
That should knock our...
Maintain VFR, I think, Bravo Mike.
Get MISC 240. Yep, happy with that. Just going to check through this now. 13,000 at CLAR, max 250 knots. 13,000, 1,000. 230, and then that's all in there. I think what I'll also do at this point is just see if we can get an ATIS up at
Number 4 levels turn left heading 360 vectors for the visual.
Las Vegas. That's already on receive.
Understood at 3642, leaving flight level 360.
3642 latitude. Most aircraft calling a time at Delta 1845. Delta 1845 departure radar contact should be climbing via the SID. Verify.
Once we get the ATIS for start receiving an ATIS for Las Vegas, then I'll
saying the top altitude. Verify climbing via.
We should be getting 2.6 left, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Along the way, including speed.
We'll
so climbing via the SID is what you need to indicate. With that, radar contact. Report I was off the airport just to the left side now. 9 o'clock, 5 miles, going to maintain 5,000.
Excuse me. Disgusting. 2.6 left. With all low auto brake, shouldn't have any issues vacating via Alpha 5. Taxi in. I think I parked up Charlie last time, so I'll do that again, hopefully. Something like that.
Very popular in Roger, let me know your piece.
Key differences flying on PilotEdge as opposed to that sim is that they tend to tie up the call sign. So American 326 in that sim or in Europe would be American 326. Was he calling us?
1845, contact center 128.6.
Yeah, they like to do 326, whereas in the rest of the world it's 326. There are some slight differences here, but I still very much appreciate the quality of the ATC here.
Roger. Los Angeles Hilton, 1825, climb Los Angeles, Padre 2 out of 9,600. Report off the Golf Las Vegas Tower, 118.7.
I'd like to say it's 29907. We'll bring it up on the standby now.
Delta 1840, LA Center, climb maintain flight level 230. Flight level 230, Delta 1840.
Standby.
The 838 Bravo Mike, hold bridge for Lake altimeter 3004. Quebec, November, Papa Romeo and Silveridge, thanks, Ontario, altimeter 3006.
I'll put the constraints on now because
November 210, Alpha Romeo,
go down.
contact SoCal approach 134.2.
there's quite a few to look out for. I'll check it with the plate as we go. Still not receiving an ATIS on 1324. 1324's on box 2. It's in there. We have the tuning on. Just should be coming through. Let's just be too far out. Sending shortly. Let's bring it up on the prog page. 130 miles to go on a direct track.
Number 550, Romeo Juliet, departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 4,000.
So the weather's great, not much to say, aircraft is fine.
Number 8, Bravo Mike, bar traffic.
No terms, nothing to say, threats. Big one is terrain, so we'll mitigate that. There's no weather, so we'll shove the terrain on the navigational display now. The highest one I see is, well, we'll call it 14,000. We've got that set already with correct QNH. Now you'd think there's the risk of being too high in case they put us on runway 01, but actually this star is designed to get us down to a low level and keep us there. You can see that there's this whole this whole 25 mile section where we'll just fly at the same level, pretty much the same. So yeah, we won't be too high on the initial approach. In terms of the approach itself, it's going to be an ILS approach, anticipated for runway 26 to the left, which is what we had. Sequencing is all good for basically Crino, Larry, Shand, Relin. Missed approach then is straight ahead, looks like straight ahead, 3,100, then turn right to 7,000, so 7,000 is what will bug. That's it. Now what about, it's quite possible they'll make us do a visual approach, so if that happens it's pretty much just report the field in sight. As soon as we can, disconnect the autopilot, configure as necessary. If they give us visual approach, it's probably going to be because it's a very quiet traffic situation. Before we go for top of descent, I'd also like to point out that we're going to be hopefully vacating on 26 to the left via Alpha 5 or Alpha 6 and taxiing in Alpha 6 to the Charlie gates. Okay, then let's plug the new altitude. We're about to make our way down. I've been told to descend via the Quebec. American 326 leaving flight level 310, Quebec 6.
326, Roger.
So there we go, speed des flight level 240 is blue, and that's the first constraint for 0. Nice. Oh look, we got an ATIS. Would you recommend L3? If you are referring to flight training school, yeah, well, all I'm going to say, finding a damn thing. All I'm going to say is that you need to pick the flight school that's relevant for you. The course I did at L3 was an integrated course. It takes you effectively from nothing to having a full airline or frozen airline transport pilot's license. But for some people that may not be for you. If you go modular, that means you have the option of breaking it up over a longer time period and taking up a job. So I guess, would you recommend it? Really just depends. Really just depends on what your situation is now. For me personally, I was young and I wanted to go into it as soon as I can, so I went integrated. And at the time it seemed like that was a better option for job prospects, but frankly, in the current climate, it's very hard to say.
Heading 240, descend and maintain 3,000.
Thanos plane, where in America do you live? I don't, mate. I actually don't. Do I sound American? Maybe I'm just trying to feel like a part of the PilotEdge network. No, I'm from the United Kingdom. I don't know if that's a joke, because I'm not sure if you are from, if you know me personally, or if you've just joined the stream, but welcome anyway. I'm from the United Kingdom. So we just sent one of two.
26, Conway Center 134.65.
134.65 American 326. LA Center, hello American 326, send to flight level 240.
Ready 326, LA Center.
So we've got some pretty big terrain here.
We got American 320 LA Center.
It's American 326, we're just sending to flight level 240.
Have you at flight level 240. American 326 with LA Center, you should be descending via the CAPX 6 arrival.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, we're descending via the CAPX 6, it's just that's what we had blocked. So we'll continue descending in accordance with the star American 326. So yeah, that's...
American 326, that you need to report in with, and then say altitude leaving, please.
We're passing flight level 261 now and descending via the CAPX 6, American 326.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Again, this is one of those things where just it's just different. On VATSIM, you don't tend to get that kind of descent clearance. You tend to get given blocks on the way down, but it seems like on PilotEdge they tend to just send you the whole way down on a star. And also to report the level passing when you're going through that. So that's a slight difference. And again, I'm still trying to get used to all these sorts of differences. So I'm happy with this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in 8,000 on the, or 8,000 there. We're descending via that. So once we pass flight level 180, we'll set the QNH of 2909 as 7. Right, good. Glad we've covered that. Flight level 130 is magenta. Skygod, have you heard about L3 closing their New Zealand base? I have. What a shame.
Juliet, you're headed on land. Unfortunately, a failed attempt at your Sky 1 rating.
Yeah.
Victor 64 to intercept Santa
Real
Monica
shame.
125. Continue on Victor 64 there. You'll
Fun memories there. Hey. Housemate's back. Yeah.
Juliet, how would you like to come here?
RATC always rude. Well, I suppose if they're having a bad day, they might. I don't think this guy was being rude. I mean, the thing is, these guys, you've got to remember, with PilotEdge, you're paying for a professional ATC service, and they're there to educate you. Now, I'm used to European comms, UK comms, so I believe the manual you're looking for, the regulations are in CAP 413.
Level 1312 and via the CAPX 6 arrival, report within flight level 330. So you're putting in on
yeah, so as I was saying, I use CAP 413 to learn the radio telephony, but it's completely different in the US, so there are going to be differences. And they're going to be they're going to be running by whatever the FAA equivalent of CAP 413 is. So there's going to be differences in comms, and they're going to be saying, oh, you should say this, you should say that. But that's fine. That's just the thing about flying on PilotEdge. The key thing, as long as you don't make a safety-related error, like flying the wrong way in a circuit pattern or busting a level, that's the important thing. And following the clearance, as said, unless it compromises safety, that's the key thing. How much does it cost? So, if you want multiplayer ATZ via PilotEdge, I believe I'm paying because I'm paying for the expanded region, but you don't have to pay for that. I think it's about £20 a month, and you get access to a smaller region in the western United States. If you pay, I think it's about 40, so roughly double, then you'll get access to the entire western side of the United States, North American continent. Now, you don't have to pay for multiplayer ATC. There is also the option of using VATSIM or the IVAO networks, IVAO, and they're free. But the reason I'm doing this on PilotEdge today is because A, it's at daytime, and B, you get a very reliable, very professional service with PilotEdge. And that doesn't mean to say that VATSIM is less, you know, it's not as good. It is very good, but we get the guarantees of full coverage when we fly on PilotEdge. And also, if you're looking to learn radio telephony, PilotEdge offer courses and ratings that you can get. I've done some of them, mostly the VFR ones, because I'm more competent in IFR. Also, IFR is usually more standardised. Do you have any Dutch people on your course? Yeah, I think I remember a guy. We had lots of people on our course. And I feel like a lot of you in the chat, so shout out to you. Welcome. Okay, descent planning, so we're in the right place, we're on the green. Prog, yep, no deviation, so we're all fine.
1312, Roger.
Every time I fly on PilotEdge, I learn something new, and that's fine. I didn't actually see it, but SkyGod says we should go for a burger field sometime. Yeah, I wish I was still in NZ, man. Those were good. I haven't actually, I think they don't, mayonnaise just seems so, instead of having mayonnaise in New Zealand, you tend to get a lot of aioli. I don't know, it's almost the same thing. Right, we're going to be going through 180 shortly, so I'm going to set the Q&H of information Lima was, no it wasn't information Lima. It was a 2997, but I'm going to try and check it on that now, we've got time. 2997, 2997. Is there 13000?
I'll take the radio to the south and then join.
We're ascending by the Capex 6.
Take the radio to the south limbo and then take Victor 64 from limbo on, and if you join to the north, you're never going to reach limbo.
Let's turn on the box to see if we can get an ATIS for Las Vegas.
Approaches in USD Archer's contact, clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway
Then joining Victor 64, so you're south of course now. Victor 64 should be eastbound with Santa Monica 125. You go northbound on Victor 64, you'll never start the radio.
ATIS information, Victor. 1256 Zulu. Wind 300 at 3. Visibility 10. Ceiling 10,000 broken. 20,000 overcast. Temperature 6. Dew point -9er. Altimeter 29er 4. Arriving runways 9er left, 19er right, 26 left. Departing runways 19er left, 19er right, 26 right.
We get the sky rating a full times today, sir.
Okay.
We know exactly what it should look like, I promise. Victor 64 northbound would not join the Santa Monica 125 radio.
Good, right, there we go. So I was just getting the ATIS again. So there's a few changes. The first thing I'm going to do is update the QNH, which is 2994. Or, sorry, the altimeter, since we're flying in America. It's the same thing. In terms of approach performance, we're the altimeter.
Yeah, 550 Media, you're at limbo at this point, so you're off course again.
Oh, someone's having a bad day. Temperature is 6.
Roger.
3003 on the wind. It's fairly benign. We're expecting 26 left, which is as briefed. It's an ILS approach, so we'll stick the ALS on now. India Romeo Lima Echo. On the plate, yeah, that looks about right. 259 on the perf. Yeah, 259. Yeah, that's all set. We're happy. We're good. We're doing what we should be doing. That's the important thing. Guys, if you appreciate and like what you're seeing, do like and subscribe, because I will be doing a lot more of this sort of stuff in many different aircraft. As I say, I'm most familiar with the Airbus A320. I will be flying others. You can check out my other streams and videos to get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm also taking requests. There's that terrain that we saw as we came into Vegas. It's high.
Jack 308 Papa Linux Hotel approach 119.6.
Okay, 13 Magenta, we got 8,000. Profitable photography. Hamilton to Auckland in a twin cell.
308 Papa Lima, top approach,
Yeah.
Indigo Limburg, altimeter 3010,
I mean,
outside class Bravo airspace, expected Bravo clearance about 1.
I have done some flights in NZ. Haven't streamed it, but I've definitely relived some old memories. It's a lot of fun. We're 1,000 to go. I think I downloaded scenery for New Zealand, and I think I did a Hamilton to Great Barrier once in a twin slot. Not the easiest approach in the world. Grass runway, I think. Might be quite nice to see. Any speed restrictions as we know? We're going to be 250 knots a clock. There you go, the target is there to decelerate as well, so we should see that knock to 250 in any second now. Or less. Yep, 250s on the target.
326, kind of cross approach, 125.9er.
125.9, American 326. Las Vegas approach, American 326, level 13,000, descending via the Cap 6.
American 326 Vegas approach, the Vegas altimeter is 2997.
Vegas altimeter 2997, American 326. We also have Victor.
Roger.
2997, so there was a slight difference. It was very minor. In recognition of your training, yeah, of course. I will certainly give it a go. Don't worry, we've got plenty of ideas. If you guys are looking to get in on the action, I'm running X-Plane 11. It's the main simulator. The aircraft is the FlightFactor A320. It doesn't come with the sim, you purchase it after. In terms of weather, I'm using a plugin. It's called xEnviro.
American 326, visual approach, right 26 left.
Expect visual approach 26 left and American 326. We can take that. Yeah, weather's xEnviro. And that's downloading real weather into the sim as well as drawing it using these fantastic textures. Yeah, that's more or less it.
Express 514 Victor, send reference radar contact line, maintain 5,000, Quadrant Quang.
Up to 5,000 direct Quang, Sky 514 Victor. Cool. It's gone pretty quiet at the moment. We're just following this star. We're expecting a visual approach on runway 26 left. We planned for an ILS, so we can pretty much just follow the ILS. It's a lot easier than what they gave me yesterday. I thought I was going to be landing on runway 1, but what they did was I was set up for an ILS, and then they gave me the visual approach.
So I had to sort of configure myself for that. It wasn't too difficult. I basically just disconnected the autopilot, configured nice and early, and we made a visual landing. It was a lot of fun, descending over the hills. Throttle Dares 8000 is blue. We have got the 1000 constraint to look out for as well, so we'll just keep an eye on that. Bring those up just so I can see it a little clearer. Guys, if you're just joining the stream, we're on our way into Las Vegas. We took off from San Diego, we're on our way down. We're on the PilotEdge network. I'm going to prepare the cabin. Approach checklist, please. Minimums. We've got Barrow 2269 is on the screen right there. Engine mode selector is normal and the EFB not applicable, so that's the approach check's complete. As well. Looks like an airport. Guys, if it takes me a little while to respond to any questions that you may have, things are about to get slightly busy. But I will respond to questions you have once we land on the ground. No matter how serious or silly.
So 3640 back Joshua approach 126.1.
Joshua approach 70642 out of 12.4, descending by the Johnny 5 Rehab Gulf.
So then 36 Joshua approach the Palmdale altimeter 3002.
3007 there, 3642.
I'm going to preset the on box 2 as a reminder what the ground is, because it's going to be pretty busy as we come off the runway.
DNPR contact approach 119.6.
10,000 feet.
119 up on Saitek back on the
Light seat belts. We're in the landing lights on now. Yep. Seat belts on. EFIS, I am happy. ILS display, we got India Romeo Lima Echo identified. Jesus, that's probably voice of navigational accuracy is high, we're all good. 26 left is also on the screen.
Max 326 flight present records visual approach 26 left, descend and maintain 7,000.
Visual approach 26 left, descend and maintain 7,000, bearing 326. Okay, so that's so quick.
DMPR approach the Gillespie altimeter 3009, and which runway did you want? 27 left,
Up there's 7,000 blue. So pretty much off now. Airport's just off to our 9 o'clock there. Off-the-wall photography with a recommendation at BZE Buenos Aires, I'm assuming that is Santiago day flight and beautiful scenery, not sure there'll be much ATC. Probably not, there might be. VATSIM is global. Okay guys, we're going on a visual approach, so what I'm going to do is activate the approach phase now. Actually, are there any speed restrictions as we go through here? It wants us at 210. Okay, that's coming back now. Let's activate the approach phase now. That's pretty much clean speed. Approach phase activate.
Back 514, big double approach, the Oxnard, altimeter 3005. 05512.
See if he takes us around the full way.
Circle approach, Charlie Go, Oscar 2000, climbing 3000.
Oh, coffee went right through.
Climbing 6000, Charlie Go, Oscar.
DNPR, turn left heading 130 and descend to maintain 7000. Left heading 130, maintain 7000. There's Econ over, I'll pop on now.
Do you think they talk too fast here in the States? Probably too fast for me, because I'm from the UK, but they're probably great for everyone else. I think sometimes with the audio muffling effect they use, it can be quite hard to distinguish what they're saying, but maybe it's like that for real in the States. There you go, we got speed out star.
Circle departure,
7000 blue.
Papa Alpha, passing 2100 for 5000.
Negative 53 Papa Alpha, departure radar contact. CGHFO, clear direct inside.
Direct also inside, they call Hotel Fox Oscar.
What's the missed approach if we need it? Well, we go straight ahead to 2100 to make a climbing right turn to 7000, directs the pole with the VOR hole. It's already on the displays there, so it's good.
500 for Mojave. Got 38 Papa Delta, show departure radar contact, maintain VFR, Bakersfield altimeter 3012. Roger, maintain VFR 3012. 38 Papa Delta.
MSA in this region, we can go to 7, so that's why he's dropped us down to 7. Normally we'd stay at 8,000, but ATC has dropped us down to 7, I assume because he's going to keep us, probably keep us on this inner circle. But we're still on the start at the moment. Once we get told otherwise, I'll start to decelerate, bring some flaps in, and get us ready to land.
Brave 53 Papa Alpha, heading 090, joiner 223, southeast bound, resume navigation.
090 and then resume own navigation on the V23.
Maybe Tower's going to be next.
American 326, terminal 290, descend maintain 5000.
So to maintain 5,000 American 326 and turn left heading 290 American 326. I said it so quickly, I barely heard it. Right. Oh, and I'm heading 290. And speed check flaps 1. 5,000 is blue, the heading is 290.
Was that last three probably left? It was not.
Ship record the runway track 259079. Go direct to insert and we'll pull the heading like that. Which gives us a nice little extended sense line to work with.
So 1312 Las Vegas to the Vegas, altimeter 297, expect visual approach 26 left.
Okay. 290 on the heading.
So 1312, after pre-now, cleared ILS, runway 26 left approach.
So we're below the profile now, but that's fine because ATC is vectoring us in.
Roger. American 326, you want the field of view 11 o'clock, 15 miles, port of the site.
Looking American 326. Let's have a look. American 326 airport in sight.
American 326, cleared visual, runway 26 left.
Cleared visual 26 left, American 326. He says visual approach, but we'll stick the localizer on now. In fact, we'll just go for the approach to get us lined up. We're cleared visual so we can start to line ourselves up a bit more accurately. I'm actually pretty happy with this heading. GS lock blue cat 3 dual AP1 and 2. happy with the strategy.
approach,
Lock star.
Direct the airport. Now we'd like to get the four-stack visual, runway 15 if possible. Southern 3642, you got the Mount Oat in sight? Yes, we do. Southern 3642, clear four-stack visual, runway 15 approach, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
Land on 26 left. It's in sight. Should be the shorter one just to the left. Yep, it's all fine. Lock.
So then 3642, contact Cal approach 134.2.
That's the out star. Flaps 2, speed check flaps 2. There's the out, we're just waiting for the glide slope now.
900 Golf Mike, back to Oakland Center 128.7.
Grab the speed there.
American 326, kind of off the tower, 119.9er.
119.9er, American 326. GS star missed approach altitude is going to be 5,000, so 7,000. I said 119.9, yep, 119.9, I got it. Las Vegas Tower, American 326, 26 left.
Correct, American 326, Las Vegas Tower, runway 26 left, cleared to land.
Runway 26 left, cleared to land, American 326. There we go.
Burbank Tower, 730.
So we're cleared to land, we're not quite configured, but we're fine. We've got a long approach here, we're still 10 miles out from the ILSD.
Frequency for SoCal, we missed the frequency there, but we're trying to get a hold of him through Joshua approach, but I guess we're below the radar coverage. Governor 642 SoCal approach, correction, Burbank Tower, roger, runway 15, cleared to land, wind 130 at minor. Okay, clear to land, runway 15, Southern Air 3642.
Good, American 2553 Yankee, midfield downwind, right downwind.
That out live. Take the gear, we'll get ourselves configured. Gear down, manage the speed.
30, clear to land, 2553 Yankee.
November 9135 to runway 30, cleared for takeoff.
Flaps 3, speed check
Cleared for
flaps.
takeoff, runway 30,
Tres.
just to 35 kilo.
Flaps full, speed check flaps 4. Arm spoilers. Should have done that when the gear came down really, but there you go. Landing checklist, so the cabin is secure for landing, auto thruster speed, go around altitude 7,000 set, and the UCAN is landing, no blue landing checklist complete. There you go. Let's go, let's land it guys. Disconnecting, I have control. Check.
Approaching 26 left.
John Wayne ground, you're at 945 Delta Mike on the left ramp, ready to taxi with whiskey. November 945 to Mike, John Wayne ground, runway 20 right, taxi via Bravo.
Probably slight tailwind, it's not pretty variable. Not too worried.
Runway 20, taxi via
Probably take the oil brakes off as soon as we touch down. We've got a long hold if we land it in the touchdown. We're stable.
400, 100 above.
Member Tower, Skywest 440, pushing the holster for runway 27 ready for departure.
300. Minimum.
Continue.
200.
quite slow.
100.
That's okay. We're aiming for the touchdown zone.
50.
Southwest 440, Liberty Tower, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Retard. 5.
Takeoff, runway 27,
There you go. Ground spoilers.
30 Papa Lima 1 departure, priority arrival.
Reverse is green.
Looking for traffic,
Peace out.
Papa Lima. The 9135 kilo, contact departure.
There's the rapid exit on the right.
Contact departure.
I'll take the second one. First is disengaged. And you're braking.
Maria, Warrior 2553 Yankee, clear to runway 30, Santa Maria.
2553 Yankee taxi to parking via Alpha, this frequency patch for Cat 4.
Take the lights off. Track the speed brakes. Track the flaps. Follow Alpha 5. American 326 runway vacated, taxi to the bank.
American 326 at Alpha 6, cross runway 26 right, contact ground point 1.
At Alpha 6, cross 26 right, ground point 1, American 326. There you go. 121.1 is what we want. Strobes are on for the crossing.
3642, we're cleared off of Delta there. We're looking
Approaching
at FedEx
08
cargo
left.
just off of Charlie 7. Southern 3042 taxi via Delta, Delta 7, Charlie, cross runway 8 at Delta 7. Okay, Delta 7 and Charlie, cross runway 8 at Delta 7, Southern 3642.
Ground hello, it's American 326 Alpha 6, taxi to Bravo terminal if it's going.
American 326, ground taxi straight into parking.
Straight to parking, American 326. Your strobes off. Straight to parking. Gotcha. Yeah, easy taxi. APU's coming on. Guys, welcome to Las Vegas. There you go. Normally I'd wait for the screen to pop up. But
Romeo Juliet, Orange Ground, clear to Van Nuys Airport. On departure, fly runway heading. Intercept, Los Angeles.
guys, if you missed the landing, don't worry. The stream gets uploaded to my YouTube account afterwards. Right, let's finish off our items. That's fine, that's fine.
Santa Monica VOR, and that's filed. Maintain 2,000, expect 3,000 in 10 minutes. Correction, maintain 3,000.
Take whiskey into the ramp.
4,000 in 10 minutes. Departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 1745. Alright, clear Van Nuys, departure flight radar heading, intercept LAX 170 radio, then Limbo, then Victor 64, then Santa Monica 125 radio, then Santa Monica VOR, then S-file, frequency 134.9, squawk 1745, 0 Juliet, altitude is 3,000, expect 4,000, 10 minutes after departure. 0, made that back correct.
AP bleeds coming in. Smash and landing, mate, smooth. Yeah, it was good. I felt like had quite a lot of a descent rate to the rest there, so we did that. That's what I'm looking for, that ramp over there. We'll take that. Okay, got
looking for South VFR departure to Catalina, requesting flight long, and we have Charlie.
November 26,
Catch that off.
Hotel, Long Beach clearance, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 2042.
Throw ourselves in there.
Frequency 119.6 and squawk 2042, November 6 Echo Hotel.
If that truck.
266 Hotel, be back correct. And, if you want
Now the only thing about these trucks is that they are
the tower
borderline, in fact completely suicidal sometimes. So he should stop for me, and he's not gunning, because he's an absolute madman.
Clear mode 7
Or,
at Charlie 5,
I don't
taxi
judge.
to General Aviation Open. That's 440, get back departure.
But he does, and he's a field truck, so that's a good move, man. Good move. And we don't have any marshals, so we're just doing this the old school way. There we go. Just call it there. Park and brake on, the APU is available and running, engine masters off. And stop the timer. Guys, welcome to Las Vegas.
Lane Towers 945 Delta Mike.
Take that off, we'll take the beacons off, we'll have everything else is off. Elapsed time stop transponder is now coming off. Fuel is... it's fine.
November 94 Delta Mike, John Lane Tower,
fine, brake fans not required, I don't think. That'll be alright. Hold on. Here we go, guys. We set the timer as well, not really relevant in the sim. There you go, 1 hour and 12 minutes. Gets us block to block from San Diego to Las Vegas.
Number 550 Romeo to towards ground, runway 29 right, taxi.
Viva Las Vegas, yes sir. In fact, we're done with ATC now, so we'll just say, Reckon 326 on stand, thank you for your service.
Good.
That's it, all done. Here we go. PilotEdge will disconnect now. And now we can practically do what we want. So, guys, what a scene to finish with. I believe a lot of this is actually accurate. There you go. I don't know much about Las Vegas other than it's party central, so are these buildings real? You tell me. I mean, that pyramid probably is. Oh look, there's a Sphinx there. Luxor. It's all there. Wow. Surprised they went to the effort to model all this in a sim. There's even a Trump Tower. Very nice. Well, I suppose the only honourable thing to do is, now that we're disconnected from PilotEdge, would be to have a look at a replay of this landing, and you can rate it. Probably it could have been a little smoother, but it wasn't anything. I mean, we don't want to flare too much because it just chews up runway unnecessarily. So as long as it wasn't absolutely horrendous, let's take a look, shall we? You be the judge. It's the one and only time you have permission to roast me. Nope. In fact, what I'll do is we'll do this. There's a flare at 30. Oh, lovely. Oh, we'll take that. Yeah, you can tell we had a much higher descent rate than usual, and this is probably because Vegas had a slightly higher... It's actually a much higher elevation, so... something that we need to arrest for and consider. Well, a slightly higher ground speed. And to maintain that profile, we will be going slightly quicker, so that is probably why we had to arrest the descent rate a bit more, but it worked out. And then we're in no hurry to get off the runway because there isn't anyone behind us. There you go. The first PilotEdge. Let's put ourselves on stand. It would be nice if I let you off the plane. As much as I'd love to keep you on. You got to go party. And I need a break. Unlock the door. My pleasure having you on board. Guys, if you like what you see, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out big time. There'll be a lot more of this sort of stuff to come. I'm flying A320s, Concords, 777s, A350s, and I'll probably be doing some GA as well across multiple multiplayer networks. It was fairly quiet in terms of traffic, but there was lots of people on frequency, and the controlling on PilotEdge is always second to none. Feel free to comment as and will. If you have any suggestions for flights you want to see, then please do so. Drop it in the YouTube comments, or drop it in the comments on the video when it gets uploaded to YouTube, because it certainly will. There you go. I've been the Sim Pilot. It's been a pleasure having you on board. I'll see you again soon.